So, today is the 19th of August, and I was messing around on the internet for a while, as you do, in between doing a bunch of worky things, and I looked at Simon Difford's guide, and he has on there a cocktail of the day, and it's about significant events on certain days. I thought, oh, what's 19th of August got? And I saw it was World Photography Day, and I thought, oh, well, that's kind of cool. I have some photographer friends, and I think photography is cool. I had aspirations myself many years ago. I thought, well, I wonder what the cocktail is. And I scrolled down the page, and it was a Joy Division cocktail invented by the guy at Death & Co. in New York. And I thought, that just, to celebrate World Photography Day, this just doesn't seem right. It should be something to do with the band, surely. So I did what anyone else would do in my situation and just tried to find a reason to connect the 19th of August with the band, and therefore I'll make the cocktail marking that. And it turns out, after really not much looking at all, that on this day in 1979, the band were rehearsing at a rehearsal room in Manchester, and a bunch of photos were taken of Ian Curtis and the band, and those have become kind of part of the Joy Division archives and records. So I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. And it also turns out that the single Love Will Tear Us Apart was also recorded in that same location. So it's kind of a significant location and date, and the fact that photo kind of captured it just before they really became the phenomenon that they were, and before Ian Curtis's death, and then turning into New Order and all the rest of it. So here we go. We are going to make a Joy Division cocktail, marking, as far as I'm concerned, one of the most fantastic bands of the era, who I did not really listen to at the time. I mean, everyone knew Love Will Tear Us Apart, but the other ones not so much, and I should have been smarter, clearly. So I've got, in the background, I've got their second and final album, Closer, and we'll see if that gets this video banned for copyright reasons. We'll soon find out. Anyway, this is a kind of modified sweet cocktail. Sweet cocktail, of course it's a cocktail, a sweet martini, better said, which means we're going to have two prime ingredients here, which are going to be gin and vermouth. I have the Botanist gin, and this was kindly brought over by my friend Christine. I think it's delicious gin. It's a bit on the spendy side, but one of the best cocktails I ever had flying on a budget airline was with Norwegian Airlines flying to England, and it was a $7.50 cocktail, but they had a airline-sized Botanist with Fever Tree tonic water and a little bag of dried fruits. I always thought that was one of the better paid cocktails I've had on an airline, but I digress, as I often do. So we're going to start with 2 ounces of gin into an ice-filled stirring glass, 2 ounces like so, and this is a regular 2-to-1 martini to start with. So 1 ounce of your dry vermouth, which hopefully you're keeping in the fridge so it doesn't go off super quickly, unless you drink it really fast, in which case it probably doesn't matter too much. And then this is where it starts getting a little bit interesting. Next ingredient is some triple sec, or your other orange liqueur. I'm using Grand Marnier because I'm a posh bastard, actually. Pash bastard, I was going to say. That doesn't make any sense. Now, can I still see the line where a ½ ounce is? Yes, I can, even without my reading glasses on. So we'll go a ½ ounce of that, like so. And then we need a little bit of absinthe. We need 3 dashes of absinthe. What is 3 dashes? Well, does it help to know that a dash is about 9, 12, or 15 drops, and that there are about 100 drops to a teaspoon? No, that doesn't really help you very much, does it? It's probably about a milliliter. And I've got this very cool atomizer that Lysander got me, and I decided, he got it for me making cocktails, and I decided to use it as my absinthe holding atomizer. And I could just spray this in there, but that's kind of even more imprecise than any other options I've got. So I'm going to take the top off, and I'm going to just put in a couple of large drops that I think will, I may have overdone it ever so slightly, but not by much. I think that's probably pretty close to the amount, probably. Luckily, I like absinthe. Let's give this a stir. And we do this until it's nice and chilly. Lots of ice in the glass. Could have even put more ice in that, to be honest. And we stir until the outside is cold, which should take less than half a minute, as I've often said, probably like 20 seconds or so. And you know, even as I'm pouring, about to pour this into the glass, I'm thinking, wow, you know, if Ian Curtis was still alive and Joy Division was still there, they would be playing now. It seems that all those bands from the 70s I loved. I went to see The Cure, and that was great. I could have seen The Damned when I went to see Iggy Pop a little while ago, but unfortunately something happened and they couldn't make it. Soft Cell were playing recently. The Sex Pistols are out there, at least some version of the Sex Pistols. Obviously, there is no Sid Vicious, but you know, the bands are reconstituted. In fact, New Order are still playing, but obviously that's not quite the same as Joy Division. But suffice to say, I would go, and we're living in a golden age of being able to see bands that maybe we missed when we were younger because we were too young, or in my case, not smart enough to know that I should be doing that. Anyway, let's pour this cocktail into, it's not a martini glass, it's a coupe. That works pretty well. And it should be fine strained, but this wasn't shaken, so I don't think that really matters. It's a gorgeous colour. It gets a little translucence from the absinthe and also actually the Grand Marnier, I think. We only have one garnish, and that is going to be an espresso twist of orange. I'm using actually a sharp knife. Another gift that Lysander got me, funnily enough. It's very sharp. So I'll try not to lop off my finger while I do this. There you go, nice thick twist there. You squirt the oil over it to give it that essence of orange. And here we are listening to Joy Division, and let's see what we've got. Oh, that really is delicious. Well, I suppose happy World Photography Day to you. Cheers.